Tommy's gonna taste the gin so that you don't have to. Let you save your money, yeah, that's what Tommy wants. Minimal dilution, cause we wanna taste the gins. But if the gins are bad, then we will throw them in the bin. Now let's hand it over to Tommy, who is gonna taste. He's gonna get all rowdy and shout up the place.
Hello and welcome back to Tommy Tastes, the channel where I taste the gin so that you don't have to. This week, something very special comes this way in the form of Fisher's Smoked Gin. Yes, you heard right. This is the UK's first smoked London dry gin. As you will be aware from this channel if you've watched previous episodes, I love Fisher's Gin. Fisher's Original and Fisher's 50 I reviewed in a video, still available to watch on my YouTube channel. How will the smoked fare in comparison? The good news is it doesn't really strip anything away from what made the Fisher's Original and the Fisher's 50 so great in the first place. It keeps those terroir style botanicals, things like your bog myrtle, because it isn't a party without bog myrtle clearly, and then other things as well like sea purslane.
Just so we all know what sea purslane looks like, this.
And rock samphire, the asparagus of the ocean. But it makes for that classic salty and kind of herbally, complex terroir kind of flavour.
Oh yeah, who could forget that these gins are really good at showing terroir.
The smoked, however, takes those botanicals and hangs them in Hessian sacks in the Pinnies of Orford, very classy indeed, smokehouse in Suffolk, and smokes them for 5 days in order to really amplify the flavour of those botanicals. What should I expect from this? Gin has really tried to be taken seriously as a serious spirit, something akin to like rum or whiskey for a very long time. In the height of the gin craze in around 2017, a lot of companies were focusing on things like oak-aged gins. Pickering's in particular had a really fantastic selection of all of the kind of classic whiskey production regions of Scotland and oak-aging their gin in those. However, none of these really caught on because people don't really like oak-aged spirits that tend to be gin drinkers. These kinds of people tend to demand those more fruity and sweet kinds of gin which range from the colour of your nan's piss to the colour of your piss after you've drunk too much beetroot. People don't want whiskey. I, for one, didn't dislike them, but they reminded me much more than anything of those kind of Scandinavian, slightly weird European oak-aged things like aquavits or, I don't know, just like oak-aged schnapps, which is really not my cup of tea. I cannot stress that enough. But smoking might be the answer to a way to amplify the flavour of botanicals and make for an all-round unique, but hopefully not uniquely shit flavour that maybe a serious gin drinker needs and will help gin to be taken more seriously. And with saying that, let's crack this in a glass and give it a taste.
Smoke gin every day.
Given that this retails around £40 for a 70cl bottle, it's clearly at the pricier end of the spectrum. But given what we know about the gin, maybe that's not so pricey. However, I have chosen to go with a classically small measure because I'm not made of money.
Hey, big spender!
So let's crack our nose in there and give it a little whiff.
Hope you're ready for the next episode. Hey, smoke
gin
every day.
So I should point out this isn't my first rodeo in trying this gin. When I first tried it, I got lots and lots of smoke, something that I would expect from more of like an Islay style whiskey. So think about Lefroy, Lagavulin, Coila, Ardbeg, something like that. That's kind of what I got. And yes, you do get like that smoky kind of almost peaty iodine-like aroma, but the more I taste it, the more this actually fades into the background. You do get like a slightly kind of smoked white fish, maybe like kipper kind of aroma, and it feels kind of like coastal. Don't get me wrong, if you've been to like a smokehouse by the coast before, which I'm guessing we've all done, then yes, this gin kind of smells like that. But once you get like under the surface of it, there's like really nice, sweet and inviting aromas. It is the classic terroir driven thing, so things like kind of salt water, bit earthy, bit herbaceous, but then there's like sweet citrus aromas as well, and things that I'm guessing the smoke are integral to. So things like cocoa, maybe like vanilla. I get like a real kind of marmalade-y hint on this, which is really nice, kind of like cooked orange vibe. And there we go with the wacky descriptors. Let's have a taste.
Rolling down the street, smoking,
Gin dough.
sipping on gin and juice.
Laid back.
So as someone who's a bit of a whore for like an Islay peated smoky whiskey, this is right up my alley. This is not a flavour that's going to be for everyone at first, because you do get quite a lot of the smoke, but if you like smoked foods or Islay whiskey, then there is every possibility that you'll like this. Had I have tried this neat, I think I could have been mistaken for believing that I was trying something like an Ardbeg 10. It's much lighter than obviously like your classic whiskey is, which I think Ardbeg has quite a light body, but you get a lot of the smoke and then a lot of those kind of sweeter, more kind of coastal aromas and citrus coming through. The way that it's oily and it coats your mouth is wonderful. The finish is incredibly long. Obviously you get the smoke, but then it's a real same as the nose kind of experience. All of those things just kind of like dance on your palate and create this wonderful kind of feeling. This is incredible. Let's crack just a little bit of ice in there and see how that changes those flavors. This is not something that we're going to dilute today, because with tonic, it makes for one of the most mad and not particularly pleasant flavors of all time. So let's not do that. We'll go on to Tommy's Cocktail Corner after we've had a taste with some ice.
Gin.
If you thought that I liked this gin when it was neat, try it on ice. It sets this flavor explosion going. Everything feels more salty, it feels more earthy, it dials back some of the more smoky flavors and aromas, the iodine kind of fades away a little bit as well. And it's really nice, sweet, citrusy, aromatic, boom! I mean, just persist, god damn it, this is great. Sure, it's not a flavour, as I said, that is going to be enjoyed by everyone first time around, but you've got to persist. If you have just a minor bit of adventure in your soul, you will try this gin, and god damn it, you will enjoy it, so just drink it, alright? As promised, here we are at Tommy's Cocktail Corner. Not done one of these in a while, but given that sipping gin is not everyone's cup of tea, I think it's important to say the things that you can do really well with the Fisher's Smoked Gin. Personally, I think this works just perfectly as a sipping gin, and you shouldn't do anything to it. However, having been on a great tour of the Fisher's Distillery in Aldborough, Suffolk, what they did there was turn it into a smoky Moscow mule, which I really liked. So obviously taking the vodka out, putting this in, lime juice, maybe a garnish of cucumber and ginger ale, it worked really, really nicely. However, diluting something to within an inch of its life with a sweet mixer is not really what I would go for personally, because it just takes away everything that's really, really good about this gin. What I would be more intrigued to do, and something I read about online, was make something like a Manhattan about it. So take about 6 cl of this and add in 2 cl of red vermouth. Stir it around, a dash of bitters in there. Again, not going to be for everyone's taste. However, I think it could be extraordinary in terms of its flavour. You have to pair this with a big beast of flavour, given what it is here. So something delicate and sweet like tonic is going to be nonsensical. So something like ginger ale, which is a bit more spicy, great. Something like red vermouth and Angostura bitters, which is aromatic and punchy, great. Maybe at a push you could go for like a gin sours with it if you want a bit more of a smoky aroma, but again, you're going to be focusing much more on the citrus aspect and you won't get anything about what makes this gin great. So my top pick, Manhattan. Ding, 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 ding. And to bring this gin to an end, if you buy one gin this year that is outside of your wheelhouse completely, make sure it is this gin. It is one of the most unique things that I have tried, and by far and away one of the best. Sure, the smoked flavour may not be for everyone, but this is a gin you will learn to love. I have not had a smoked gin prior to this one, but I do not believe that there is a better one in the UK, or for that matter, outside of. You gotta get yourself some Fishers and taste. Thank you, Fishers. Thank you so ruddy bloody much.
Yeah, like and subscribe, girl. Like and subscribe. What? Like and subscribe. Whip it out.